It's heavy being an artist. There's constant kind of like self-doubt. Even when other people think you're really good, you don't believe them. You just see the flawed side of what you do. Up until this point, or recently, I've never felt good enough as an artist, which is a good thing because it means I keep trying harder. If I thought I was a great artist 20 years ago, I probably would have stayed at the level I was 20 years ago. And learning can be painful, it can be difficult. Again, you're like, as soon as you get to a point where you're thinking, oh, I'm actually really good, the next day you're like, oh, actually I'm really shit. But that's healthy, that's the way it works. That's the kind of blessing and the curse that you live with as an artist. My name's Stephen Bliss. I'm an artist, obviously, and a writer. And I came over to New York to work for Rockstar Games. So I was a senior artist there for 16 years. I would describe my art as dark, but with a sense of humor. I would hope people see the humor in the darkness. Some people think it's a bit heavy, but for me, whatever I do is a comedy, really. There's something light-hearted about the darkness, if you know what I mean, but I think that's part of being British. The most important things I can think back to that have inspired me in my life, there would probably be psychedelic art. Obviously, Marvel, DC Comics were a huge influence. And then punk rock happened, and that's what really set me up to want to be a professional artist. It made a lot of us realize that anyone could do it. Anyone could make music and anyone could be an artist. And I'm not so sure if I would have got into art without having my mindset changed from thinking it was beyond me to be an artist to, well, anyone can do it. I work with various mediums. I guess predominantly for practical reasons I use Photoshop. So the Fungees job, it was a PFP computer-generated character that's wearing hundreds and thousands of different costumes and faces. So that was a fun job to do, and I'm really pleased with what I did. He's called Dr Degen, the character. It's very detailed. Took a long time to do. I was probably insane to paint as much detail as I did, but the process was all digital, and I would have to use reference because to achieve photographic type cartoon painting, you need reference to see how light hits a jacket or hits a muscle and to see how the shadows are shaped. It's difficult to make that stuff up. I would have to film myself posing in various outfits that will never be seen by the public, and then refer to those in order to be accurate paintings. So a couple of my favorite Dr. Degen traits are his body is really muscly and has tattoos on it, and that's consistent through whatever you put on him. He has those tattoos underneath and you can see them coming out of the costume. And I really like the way I made that work because it wasn't easy to establish the logistics of that. I love the house on Mars, which was really difficult to paint. I think I like pictures or traits that are really difficult to paint, and I hate them when I'm doing them because it's such a challenge to get them to look good. But when I do it and my eyes and my stomach say, yeah, that's finished, then I like it more. The more I was painting the character, the more I was thinking, why am I painting that background? Why am I painting a rocket that's crashed on Mars? Why am I painting a tsunami wave in the background? Initially, they were ideas and they were just aesthetic, and they were just like, well, a 1970s house on Mars would look really cool with a swimming pool, even though it's a dry planet. So then I'm like, how did he get water on Mars? And why is he living on Mars? And why is there a crashed rocket on the beach? This is his rocket, Dr. Degen's rocket, that he flew from Earth to Mars, and now it's rusting on a beach on Mars, and it is never to return to Earth, so the government thinks. But Dr. Degen will repair the ship and fly back to Earth to get revenge. And then I thought, right, I'm going to write a story, and I wrote like a story for every trait. There's 60 traits, and I wrote the traits out, and then I started building in the narrative of his superhero life story from that. And it was a fun exercise in making a two-dimensional character into something that had a history. I'm interested to see what the most popular traits that people are going to be choosing for Dr Degen, because it's always the most unlikely. I'm looking forward to seeing how ridiculous people can make him look. Because what they're doing, if you're choosing a PFP, you're choosing a representation of you that you're going to use on the gaming platform. So you're going to have all these kids either wanting to look like freaks as a superhero, or they can put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt if they want and just look normal. I'm looking forward to seeing if they want to look normal or freaky. I think people are going to be excited to work with the different traits. I really love the artwork so much. I'm like really itching to get it out there onto my social media and to see how that community responds to it, and for them to engage in the Fungees platform as well. You know, it's going to be fun to see the reaction.